live. We're going live. We're talking about the hottest thing there is right now. Facebook, getting rid of Facebook. As of the last 6 hours, has been all over Fox News about getting rid of trending conservative news. And yes, I've been online basically all day, and my name's been trending. This is Shane Bedingfield, also known as the Texas Torque Rich, coming to you live from this time from the Bedingfield Estate in Clarendon, Texas. I used to come to you from Fayetteville, North Carolina, but now I'm coming to you live from the Lone Star State, my home state. And yes, this is a big deal because jokingly, as a joke, I put on my Facebook page a couple years ago, 100% Facebook celebrity, let me rephrase this, 100% verified Facebook celebrity. I did it as a joke. One time I Googled how to get internet famous, and as a joke, I put that on my profile, and people bought it. So I'm the natural blonde wonder. Andre the Giant was one of the natural wonders of the world, and so am I. Last time I checked, you had to go to the Netherlands or Iceland to even see anything close to me, but I can tan. I'm natural blonde, blue eyes. So I try riding that for all it's worth, because that's how the wrestling business is. So, with that being said, okay, I noticed something. Everybody knows about what I did on my WordPress log during Super Bowl Sunday about, because the Super Bowl, where it was played at, who played in it, Denver, you got Colorado, a very liberal state. You have North Carolina, which basically has Asheville, which is basically the San Francisco of the East Coast. It's been built that way for years. There's a lot of deadheads there, a lot of the lesbian gay communities there, which is all over the state of North Carolina. And I've been in some places where the lesbians run wild, especially in Fayetteville, and up in the mountains around Boone, around the Appalachian State, and all that. So there, and then I went off on my old tirade that there's going to most likely let Peyton Manning win the Super Bowl and all that, because he was going into retirement. So, but I'm going by geographic location. That was my argument, where they was getting ready to push this whole agenda, which is coming at us right now. The whole bathroom conspiracy in North Carolina and all that, and which is really, really pushing a liberal platform. So, thank you. But anyway, with that being said, you have a lot of a conservative post getting deleted. Now, on my Super Bowl 5 minutes till kickoff post, I showed 2 gay guys basically having sex. And then I used that to push my blog. My blog got trending like no tomorrow. Not as trending as much as whenever I was writing the walrus stuff, but the walrus stuff was used because there's a method to my madness. It's sort of like the old WWE Attitude Era. I used the walrus to lure readers into another message. But that blog got suspended because I pushed the envelope like no tomorrow. I started using Don Henley kind of stuff, like off the Hotel California, and where I was putting a message inside the message. But what I really was wanting you to do is go back in earlier posts, which some people did, where when I talked about the Obama administration sort of stealing from Tom Clancy's last book on Obama's whole plan was to rip the government apart from the inside out, which he basically has done. There's no questions asked on that. I think the last 8 years basically tells a story on that. Now, you got to remember, on the whole Facebook deal, which it is impossible, I tried everything I could. I had Minds. At one time I was on Minds, which I may get back on Minds, which is another social media platform to start pushing my podcast now. Because I think right now, I really, really have a good Wi-Fi connection right now. And it works really good all the time, which makes it really good to do a podcast on. So I may start posting my podcast there. Now, granted, I changed my podcast title around because the election's getting ready to be trendy from now till November. And I got talking this. I'm not no Jesse Ventura, but from some of my experience before, I know a little. And in Memphis, Tennessee, I got interviewed by a local TV station there about what I thought about the Obama administration and all that. And also, I witnessed some stuff from Clay Aiken whenever he was running for office the last go around against Marsha, the little hottie from North Carolina, for the Senate seat or state congressional seat. So I witnessed some stuff. And I've been to a Republican get-together there in Fayetteville. And I got to witness some stuff, on how stuff is sort of carried out on that end. And granted, Fayetteville is real close to Raleigh, so I got to see a lot of stuff. So anyway, plus I've been around some blue bloods in the Fayetteville area. They have ties. I never knew that Rockefeller owned a piece of land outside of Fayetteville, North Carolina. So, and I was friends with a couple of Army officers. And so I got introduced to a lot of people real fast that went to an Episcopal church. So, back to the Facebook deal. Okay, what I was saying, basically everybody in Silicon Valley is on the liberal side. Because Steve Jobs, a lot of the computer crowd was on LSD, which my standpoint on LSD is it may be able to help PTSD. So I'm not throwing that under the bus. But I know for a fact, because I'm friends with the Black Tuna, which is Robert Platshorn, on Facebook, because I'm a big Raconteur fan, which is filmed down in Miami. The guy that produced Cocaine Cowboys and all that, well, along with Mickey Mundy. Mickey Mundy's on my Facebook page too. That a lot of stuff is on the liberal side, easily pushed. So, but I don't think the marijuana will never get passed because I don't think NASCAR won't even put a vape company on any of their stuff for no longer than one race. So the marijuana activists may never get into NASCAR, which I'm pushing with Trump right now and his wife and his family that between right now till November, they need to make a statement in NASCAR and show a little bit of generosity. That's the only way they're going to win this thing, because a lot of people don't realize this. On the NASCAR side, you're going to win the women vote and you'll win the grassroots vote. So, and NASCAR is huge on Facebook. That's one deal where I made a joke last week about the WWE and NASCAR. What separates them is people make fake accounts for WWE people because they're marking out so hard, which I'm sure if Trump has been around Vince McMahon enough to hear that statement said, because really Vince marked out the Trump to get him involved in with some WWE stuff, which was old WWF stuff. So you got a bunch getting said, no, there's 1 billion people that are on Facebook. That timeline is like crazy. Last I checked, I was right around 5,000 friends. But, okay, if they're doing that, that goes back to the whole Google censorship deal, which came out on YouTube 3 or 4 months ago, that Google was going to censor what was going to basically censor the election and the campaign to the election, which is a big deal because Google's actually bigger than Facebook and has more access to more data. So right now you're looking at, this could be just the tip of the iceberg what's going on right now. Nobody's really not mentioning Google except for some of the whistleblowers. So, with that being said, you got a lot going on. So, because if Google, now granted, Google has a lot of stuff in a lot of places. I was in Lenore, North Carolina, where I used to reside at one time, when I was wrestling full time, was they built a server farm in Lenore, which had the tightest damn security you'll ever see. So, now, this whole deal with Facebook's been going on for a while. So, that means all these bills, the Obamacare, the Second Amendment stuff, you're looking at a bunch of stuff being watered down, which has been the whole, it seems like it's been the whole media outlook today, especially what was getting said about the White House treating, the White House press people treating the rest of the media like they're a bunch of idiots, and the White House press people are the smartest people in the world. I think they said the smartest people in the classroom. So, this is big implications, because if Facebook's doing it, Google's doing it, God knows what's... Twitter right now is like the in-between. They're like, I guess you would say they're like the semi-main event match, even though Twitter's doing a better job of letting other stuff go. Because in a way, until this whole NSA deal comes down, it's going to be hard for people to regulate stuff, especially now with Facebook getting called out. So, you got a lot going down in a hurry. So, in fact, I'm sort of going behind Facebook's back and only running this on Twitter, this live deal right now, because I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. Because the cover themselves already saw that they had an article up saying Facebook's is blocking certain trending items. But that may have been them to cover themselves on, basically damage control. So, with that being said, who really knows the whole ins and outs of this? There's a good chance, now nobody's never thought of this yet. Internet/social media has to have their own set of lobbyists because of the whole NSA deal. So there may have been a deal cut on the backside of that. But, time will tell on that one. Because lately, right now, from now to November, you got a bunch of crazy stuff coming out. Because the election's getting ready to go into its final leg, and you have a lot going down. There's basically everybody's holding their, crossing their fingers till California to see what really happens. So, you got a lot going down, and now with Trump being the machine I think he is, because he's good friends with Vince, and Vince is a machine. Even though I don't think I've tweeted to Vince a lot on Twitter. I know he knows who I am because I was friends with him on Facebook. But that may have not been him because everybody knows a big business executive most of the time doesn't sleep. And believe it or not, they're actually doing concrete work. And a lot of times those guys don't have time to get on social media. Because I know that because the girl that I used to promote in country music in 2011 and 2012. So, I mean, right there's the spin. And if Facebook is doing it, they're going to catch a lot of scrutiny. But the world is an awful big place, and they got 1.5 million now, they say. So, I mean, when you look at the world, the United States is just, we got one section of it, even though we got a lot of influence. So, who knows? It could be a blot by the Clinton machine. As far as last time I heard, people from the Google and Facebook went to the Bilderberg group meeting. So nothing happens out of nowhere. I said that earlier today on an earlier podcast. Nothing doesn't happen out of nowhere. There's no such thing as coincidences. So it's just real weird right now. When they made this announcement, they just got through announcing that our armed forces are the smallest it's been in years. And Trump is saying that he's going to build it back up. So, and what's the biggest driving force behind any society? The war machine. So, right now, I think we got our hands so tied up in so many places, I don't even think... It's sort of like the Montreal screw job in the old WWE. I don't think a lot of people that are higher up don't even know what we're fully involved in themselves. So, you have a lot going down right now. So with that being said, everybody keep their eyes peeled because, I mean, I know people that are on Facebook that are basically out in the middle of nowhere in West Texas. It was the funniest thing ever last week in the coffee shop downtown Clarendon, Texas, the home of Mac Thornberry. I heard these cowboys at the coffee shop talking like Facebook's been the most revolutionary thing ever I think they just got on it. So, you know, it's big implications whenever a rancher in the middle of nowhere is getting in on it. And literally, this is the flattest land there is for about 600, 700 miles. So, I mean, you got a lot going down. So, all you voters out there need to make a judgment call on how you're thinking to vote and all that. I'm not about to preach to anybody on how to vote. So, in fact, I was the one that was saying earlier this year, this may be a good election to set out. But be honest with you, I was saying that to wake some people up. But that was my whole psychology behind that. So, anyway, all you voters out there, keep your eyes peeled. Thank you.